ABEX team, just wanted to take a few minutes to talk with Craig Moore, Jason Morehouse, and Jim Herr about some of the supply direction, the challenges we face this year, and ways that we can improve going forward in our corn supply. To start off with, Craig, when you think about product selection, what is first and foremost in you and the product team's mind?
Yeah, it's a great question, Scott. One we get a lot anyway. And so our real focus with product selection is first and foremost regional selection. Regional performance really drives, and regional agronomics through field evaluations really drives our selection. Next, we think about genetic diversity. We want to bring the most genetically diverse, highest performing lineup in the industry. And then lastly, of course, is trait choices. We want to make sure that we have the opportunity of trait choices where the customer may demand a non-GMO all the way up to our highest treated rootworm product.
Yeah, and so sometimes I know that you guys have picked products that are kind of hard to produce.
Oh yeah, that last consideration.
Yeah.
Yes, that last consideration on that. And it's actually one that really, in terms of producibility, we feel like is a real focus in the industry with some of our competitors, whereas our focus is really on helping farmers succeed. That farmer focus is something that I feel in my role, and I know my team members on the product team feel that passion as well in terms of that product is performed for its regional adaptation for that local grower. And so that focus for producibility isn't as high on our list as we know it is for others.
Yeah. I know, Jason, as we've gotten those products that could be more of a challenge, your team's taken that on, and I think of an example years ago, 5828, hard to produce. What did you guys do differently with that hybrid to help it to be our #1 selling product of all time?
Sure. Well, the first thing that starts is kind of having some signal around how important a product is to the overall plan, right?
Yeah.
And so everything is important in terms of our team's eyes, but knowing where we really need to pour energy and resources at iterating and trying to challenge our agronomists and folks that are working with these products to get better at it. And so we kind of take an approach of learn as we go, and every field, even though it's production, we can also learn something from it. And so there's a lot of energy that the team does, both in the production, but then the reflection upon what did we do and how did it work out, and then what do we want to try differently next year. So, yeah.
So each year we end up with the crop that we end up with, and then Jim takes over. Jim and his team with the processing. So, Jim, what was the same or similar this year, and then what was different in terms of the crop that came in?
Yeah, thanks. So similar this year would be the Jason's team hit the yield marks quite well, and similar this year is we had good quality products in the lineup. Where we saw things that were similar to last year also, where we saw some issues around some quality on some particular products and segments that have given us a little more trouble. Last year was a more significant season. The growing season in 2022 led to more quality issues in our corn than I had seen in a very long time. And actually, 40-year veteran Dave Weavers that runs Coon Rapids said to me, he says, that's not going to be a fun crop. And that was shortly after harvest.
Yeah.
He'd seen these things before. That being said, this has been a much better year in terms of the overall scope of our quality and our ability to get products out there that pass our standards. It's been a lot better year. It's just been a few isolated ones where we've struggled.
Yeah, and those isolated ones, when they hit hard, and we know that we hate that our salespeople and our dealers and even our customers are in that position of, they're excited about planting a product, and when the quality doesn't show up how we want it to, then it's really tough to go back and think about doing something different now that they're already kind of on board with the product that they were most interested in. And so, from a overall supply standpoint, Jason and the team have done a great job, and we have supply, of good products. It's just the emotional hurdle of going from, what we were sold on to another good product that we weren't sold on, because that's not what you as a salesperson talked about. So, Jason, as we think about production plan for this year, You know, we want to be in a good place with every product, obviously, and every year we have challenges. But what are we doing from a volume standpoint in acres to help curtail some of the challenges?
Sure. Well, so the plan continues to be learn as much as we can about every product
Yep.
and try to make sure that we know how much of it that we need to try to produce. But we're growing about 25% more this year than we were the previous year across all
Yeah.
things, not every product, but hopefully we've got it placed in the right things, and but big commitment to having a good supply.
It absolutely is. It's a huge investment and to ensure a greater supply, and that's really one of the ways that we're taking on this challenge. So,
You know, I would like to share a project that Jason has taken the lead on with us, and Craig Moore's a part of it, along with Leslie Amos and others. And it's focused on evaluating our products and how well we are in terms of supply security. And we called it staying power in the last meeting. You know, will they see you can make that bushel, will it stay all the way and get to the customer?
Yeah.
So we are spending a lot of time around data to be learning fast how we can put the right amount of acres of something out there. If we know that it's always going to have this much
Yeah.
that doesn't make it, then we can convey that up and down the value chain and make sure we have enough
Yeah.
and take that hit, but get the product out people want. And so that's pretty, I think there's some good fruits coming from that. It takes time.
yeah. So, you know, from Craig's vision of that he's articulated about having the best product for the farmer and regionally, and making sure they got the right trait package, to the fact that not all hybrids produce the same, and so Jason's team's, you know, kind of shoring things up and learning how to do better, and then, you know, from Jim's standpoint, just dealing with the quality that happens kind of after the fact that it's always something we learn through the season. And then, you know, something we implemented this past fall in terms of when we do have bad news to deliver, in engaging our front sales support staff and letting them be kind of the initial message to our dealers, take some of the pressure off of our seat advisors. And yeah, I think we can improve on how we're communicating with, you know, the front counter sales support team, you know, maybe before going to a dealer, informing the seat advisor of, hey, here's the tweaks we're thinking we're going to need to make, any input. And so making that a more of a solid conversation from the front side, I think will help to improve the delivery of that change, let's call it. But I guess to wrap up, just want to say thank you. It's never easy or fun to go through challenges here late in the season like this, and some of you have been kind of hit a couple times through the season as we've encountered these quality changes that we didn't expect, and you've had to do this multiple times, and we know that that's additional work. So thank you for your commitment, and thank you for helping our farmers to plant the best product in the best manner that we have available this spring to help them succeed. So thank you.